since hiding. Look back, find out where the hell are we? Escape from others. How did we get here, man? A massive explosion. Looking down the town of Blue LA. We got help each other as battle. We had a time on Mars, so the way to Palestine. Now we're fighting out in Camelot. It's a cycle of command and a chance we found around the land. As we reached to the promised land, we were struggling in the underground. We find ourselves now as we dreamed.
So, what should I whip up today? All right, you got it.
We need you in the hangar, now!
Commander?
It's Lao. Hey, get away from that! Elma, get your butts over here!
What was that all about? Did I hear him talking to Lao?
Whatever it was, it didn't sound very good. We'd better get to the hangar ASAP.
Hello everyone, I'm Luxin, welcome back to more Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles X, where I finally learned that watching the cutscenes that I start episodes off with instead of doing something else means that I can actually start paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing and not have to check the menu screen. Last time, we did a lot of surveying of the world actually, getting almost every probe site in Sylvalum and every probe site in Kaldros completely installed, which means that until I get my mechanical level 5 field skill, we've actually done everything Frontier Nav related that I actually need to go places for, and have the biggest fast travel net possible at this point in time. Also, we got Celica, who's gonna come along with us for the story mission. I think I made some sort of justification that it was like a showing her the ropes thing, because she was only just inducted into Blade. But something's up with the restricted hangar and Venom needs our help.
Boy, have you lost your mind! You know damn well what that data means to us, to our entire race!
Of course I do. It means an end to this giant lie. I've been waiting a long time for this.
Commander, what's going on?
Ask Lao. We caught him stealing a data terminal with classified intel.
Stealing intel?
Explain yourself, Lao.
You should have let me die that day, Elma. You knew the truth. That I was a ganglion spy.
What?
I had my suspicions, but I didn't want to believe it.
Your mistake. And it'll cost you. The data and your newest skell, the Prog Ares. The ganglion will appreciate the gift.
Boy, I am gonna kick your ass so hard, your real body will feel it.
Not if you value your precious data.
Wow! What the hell's going on here?
Oh, look at this. The whole gang's coming out to say goodbye.
What the hell, Lao?
Hold your fire. He's got the only copy of that data on his MIM.
Damn it! Little insurance policy. Sorry, Doug.
You would betray all your friends? Your entire species?
Well, I'm no big fan of theirs, believe me. The talking cats or that giant leech. But the ganglion and I share a common goal.
And that is?
Think about it, Doug. You know the answer.
The hell I do. You've lost it, man.
Yeah. I lost it all. Goodbye.
Lao!
All right. What exactly happened back there?
Welp. You all know how Frontier Nav uses the White Whale's trajectory data to simulate potential crash scenarios. Then cross-checks it with our probes to narrow down possible lifehold coordinates. Well, all that work paid off. We finally got enough probes in the ground to accomplish what we've been trying to do. In other words, we can isolate every possible landing zone and scan them to find the lifehold core.
What? Oh!
Are you certain?
That's what the eggheads tell me.
Tatsudo Dance of Discovery!
So what are we waiting for? Don't tell me. It's already been destroyed?
If it had been, none of us would be here right now.
Oh, right.
So in other words, Lao sabotaged the whole operation?
That's right. He took the terminal that was analyzing the data and deleted all the backups for good measure. We already started over. But the coordinates were calculated from a massive amount of accumulated data. Redoing all the work we did up until this point could take weeks, if not more.
Which means the lifehold would run out of time first, and then... poof.
Bingo.
Then we have no choice.
We have to find Lao and recover that terminal.
For now, let's assume he's headed for that ganglion stronghold we heard about north of Silvalum. We'll need to hurry.
I just hope that Gajarg guy was telling the truth.
Everything is riding on this mission. Don't screw it up. That goddamn good-for-nothing... What the hell is he after?
Several things to say about that cutscene. On one hand, Lao being the spy after he was the one mysteriously injured and stuff makes sense. But on the other hand, Lao arbitrarily being the one who was picked to turn evil and be the one party member, like I said, it's kind of arbitrary. So I don't really know how I feel about that specifically. Like, it could have been anybody. But about the DLC, there were, at this point, obviously, when Lao was injured, he wasn't part of the party, like the usable party, obviously, because he was injured. But now that he's turned traitor, he's still not part of the usable party. But that's okay, because anything related to him that's worth segments has already been done. His 2 affinity missions for getting arts have actually already been done as part of the main story for earlier chapters, so we have his 2 signature arts. I believe the game will also automatically mark the segment where he usually is in NLA to get him to join the party. I think it auto marks that after beating the game. If you haven't done it by now, I'm pretty sure we've gotten him in the party for something else at least once, so we shouldn't need to worry about that. And if you wanted specifically to have a regular partisan eagle on the team, someone who uses javelin and sniper rifle, if you got the DLC / bought any of the international versions of the game, then you actually do have access to that person. Besides one character who you basically can only get post-game, there's one more party member we've yet to get. Besides Celica, there's one more person, or there's Celica, then the post-game person, and then a DLC character. This character is, for all intents and purposes, completely designed to replace Lao after he becomes unusable at this point in the story. He's a regular partisan eagle who uses sniper and javelin, the only main gameplay difference being 2 different signature arts, obviously because he's not actually Lao. So if you do want to use someone who plays the same way as Lao on your team, you can just go get that person. I'm going to be in between chapters 11 and 12, at least doing his first affinity mission, so you know that he exists at least and that you can use him. Unfortunately, he's not that great of a character in my opinion, but if you really want to do that and don't want to be the person going partisan eagle yourself, you do have that option specifically, and I'm pretty sure the DLC was like the equivalent of $5 in Japan anyway, so even if you're playing a version, even if you're playing a Japanese version that doesn't have it already installed, it's not that bad for 4 characters, 8 affinity missions, a new weapon type, 3 level 60 skells, and 8 new arts. I don't know. That's my spiel on that. Also, you'll notice a couple things that seemed weird in continuity. You had Lin refer to Gajarg as that Gajarg guy as if we'd only met him once, and you had Elmo refer to Caldros as that ganglion stronghold north of Silvalum. That's because the story, despite this being an open world game, the story itself assumes that you haven't been to each continent or met each character more than you have in part of the actual main story missions. So we could have had 100% of Caldros surveyed, which I think is actually impossible until you beat the game, but we could have had 100% of Caldros surveyed, and Elmo would still not know what a Caldros was. So that kind of breaks the immersion thing a little bit, but I guess if we hadn't had Elma and Lin in the party when we were in Caldros, that would have been fine, because we haven't been there. Although they did have to be in the party when we got to know Gajarg, but there's really no excuse for that. Obviously, they didn't want to re-record cutscenes for whether or not you've been to Caldros before, but I did manage to successfully stall until, well, we made it all the way here to the Orson Castle ruins, and we appear to be closing in on where we need to be, which is somewhere around here. So here, but down. Thankfully, we were able to fly through on Skells, so we actually didn't need to worry too much about things. And here's the Orson Gate. And a cutscene, I think. Or the game froze. There's the cutscene, okay.
This reading. It's the Prog Ares. This puts its signature in the middle of the large chamber on the other side of this structure.
You think we found Lao then?
He can't be far. Let's go.
Okay. I have no idea how to open this.
Alright. Let's look around and see if we spot another entrance.
How about door up over there?
Yeah, we could just land our skells now. I guess it put us through the cutscene trigger while we were still in the air. Hopefully I didn't keep losing fuel for that. But yeah, now we've reached a fun part where we have to do things outside of Skell, so that's going to be great, especially because Celica's level 32 and has a grand total of 4 arts on her right now, and I'm the only one higher level than these Marnik we're fighting here. Well, let's see how this goes. I've also gone through the motions of actually giving myself a few new arts, or swapping around my arts in general, so I have a few different ones. I kept Stellar Ray and Shooting Star, but other than that, I kept Astral Projection, actually. I now have Starfall Blossom, which gives me TP, then Starfall Blade, then Starfall Rondo, and I've also got a certain Melia's Starlight Kick on my side as well, that if I ever get my TP up enough, might actually use. And Celica's dead, and Elma will be dead soon. And this is gonna be huge problems. Enormous, huge problems. I'll take however much TP that was, but yeah, this could go a lot many better ways. So many better ways that I don't even know what I'm talking about. Although, my Starfall Blossoms are actually, I believe I leveled it up a couple times, so it's 100-something TP per hit, which is better than an auto attack at least. Alright, yeah, you're gonna Furious Blast me. Getting close to reviving Elma, which is what I'm trying to do. Unfortunately, Lynn and I both don't have debuffs, so Astral Purge, which removes debuffs and just removes debuffs, is completely useless to me.
It's time.
Sure, increased critical chance, we'll do that. Then revive not Elma. I'm actually screwing myself up by using... Alright, this is bad. I'm gonna wait until Lynn and Celica at least kill this person so we can get experience. There we go. That happened. That's not good. That we're dying to the first enemy. At least want to fight the Marnik Imperials without getting destroyed. But yeah. Celica is, I think, another Psychoruptor Plus. Which... If we go to... We'll just check out her arts for the sake of it. Yeah, she's another Psychoruptor Plus with completely different arts than most of them because she's Dual Guns Knife instead of anything else. Absorber Skin is the only... Absorber Skin in full specs, so only 2 of her arts are ones I actually learned as a Psychoruptor. She's got one of her signature arts, Black Bane, which does ether damage, which is good. And the more debuffs the enemy has, it gets a huge damage scale. I think it gets like, at max level, it gets like 300% damage boost per debuff the enemy has. So there's a lot. I run a bunch of debuffs and then use Black Bane. And then she also has Sliding Slinger because dual guns and it's Sliding Slinger. What did you expect? Anyway, back to something I meant to elaborate on before, but didn't because I'm a genius. Well, I think it was kind of weak that Lao was somewhat arbitrarily chosen to be the traitor. I do think it was good that the foreshadowing with Elma working on some mysterious Ares project actually having come to fruition in that the Prog Ares is a certain kind of skell or something she was developing that Lao just stole. So it's not just some sort of throwaway thing that, oh, Elma, you did this thing. You're good because you're Elma. You're basically the main character of this game. So we gotta talk about how good you are. But the thing that she was doing that made her look good is actually part of the story. So I like that. And Celica has called me to buff her 3 times in a row now. I can't really blame her because she's been on the verge of death a lot. Also, they made the British-sounding character use the Royal We for kind of no reason. I only just noticed that. That's kind of bad, but whatever. She's still good. And she... so good, she got a class level up while being dead. And, okay, this one's only level 41, so... if we die to this one, then I'll be somewhat annoyed. Did he just said then perish. He pulled the Obama. Also, I'm dying. It would be great. You know, I'm half tempted. I am half tempted to put trash talk back on Lynn, so she'll actually take the aggro. Okay, never mind. That was a ridiculous soul voice. I got like 1,000 HP from that. Lynn got like 3,000. I don't know how Lynn got 3,000, but she did. Also, I just not knowing what I'm talking about a lot today, apparently. We never really oh god, there are 3 of them now. Us can only go one way. Celica is another Xeno race that kind of I haven't been talking about a lot because she's the only representative here. She's a Clurian, Qlurin, I believe. And, alright, we'll give you a Starlight Kick that actually got the topple off. Never mind, I was about to say it didn't do anything, but it did do something. I never knew you could launch with Stellar Ray, but I can do that apparently. Celica, unfortunately, is a support character, so like Hope, she's gonna be spending a lot of time dead until her level catches up to the rest of us. I might actually be spending some time dead too, which is why I'm gonna actually direct my... Jesus Christ, I'm taking a lot of damage. If I run so far, they can't even hurt me. Or I could just die. That works too. Okay. Yeah, this story mission might actually take the entire episode just because of the amount of times I'm going to die without being able to use my Skell for anything. Alright, this time we're going to do the Mad Dash strategy. Where we just kind of run through here. Problem being that... oh, we discovered the Ganglion Weapons Hangar, so that's some free EXP. Problem being that, well... there are a lot of Ganglion in the Ganglion Weapons Hangar. And while we were able to make it through here, there's a console here that you can't use while you're in a fight. Also, there's a Tyrant somewhere. I'm not sure where the Tyrant is. Or who it is. Okay, Frontline Medic Quo. So yeah, we're gonna need to do some sort of thing like sneaking in order to get through there, which is gonna be fun. Alright, it's an EM storm, which means it's a perfect day to go fighting some Marnock again. Except this time we're Elma, and you'll see why in a minute. The main purpose of this is I'm going to be fighting these guys again, but with the express purpose of getting as much TP as possible. If you know the game well, you might see that I'm using an an art on Elma that I usually haven't been, or that I haven't had on her before. And that probably clues you into what I'm doing with this. Also, I'm not sure why I'm taking this much damage here. It's kind of bad. I should not have the aggro from any of these, but we have Lynn who doesn't do anything. So, thanks, Lynn. Alright, Celica's dead. Okay, we expected that. Good, there's some TP. Celica wasn't dead until just... never mind. She surprises me every day. Stop getting hurt, Elma. Please. Alright, Electric Surge. Please do things. Or I could die and waste all that TP. Thanks, game. Alright, there we go. Marnock's dead. Celica's got a new art. And now we have Elma at 3,000 TP. Then what you're going to want to do is get in a battle against an enemy, use Shadowrunner, then cancel the battle. Shadowrunner disables enemy detection, even outside of battle. So if I do this, I can actually run through here and no one will notice me. Also, again, I have 3,000 max TP, so I can actually keep this up for longer if I wanted to. I believe the aura has like a 30-second duration, which is actually enough for me to get through here. And very conveniently, check this, which lowers me down here. Then I assume I'm going to need to use it a second time. I don't see any enemies here now. There's one. Okay. Swift Shred. Noticed me because the aura hadn't recharged. Now we're going to die. Okay. Let's see how well this goes, especially when I'm being aggroed. But they're hurting it at least. Swear to God, if this thing ends up being weaker than the regular Marnix, which it kind of shouldn't be because the Marnix are Marnix. This is a robot. Although we're making quick work of this, but I assume once... Okay, yeah, there we go. When it actually hits, it hurts. This is going so gleefully well. What am I even saying? I don't know. Celica's alive. That usually doesn't happen. She's died basically every... Yeah, I don't think we've been in a fight with her where she actually survived. That might be a goal for this episode. Get Celica to live to the end of the fight. Wow, we're actually kind of doing a number on this thing. We're not hurting it very fast, but we're doing more damage to it than it's doing to us, at least comparatively. Even with me completely botching the ×2 on that violence streak. But I kind of don't think it matters right now. Once we get our skells back, I'm going to somehow need to remember to... Wow, Celica is still alive, even with the aggro, somehow. Alright, he's using Blade Arm. He's using Energy Shot. She's sliding Slingered underneath it to avoid all damage. Yeah, now Elma's got the aggro. Without Nagi, I guess she takes damage faster. Without Nagi to completely take the aggro. I mean, I guess without Nagi, Lynn's also better at taking the aggro too, so... Could go either way. But this is going to be the plan I'm going to use. Celica, right at the end, she died again. Elma and Lynn leveled up, which is not bad. But what I was going to say is, that's going to be my operative strategy from now on. When it comes to, like, large amounts of enemies in here, I'm just going to... Enhanced attack range, okay. So we can run away from you guys. Celica got one-shotted. I swear to God, if this thing can actually hit us through walls. I think it can. Can it hit us anywhere on this floor? This thing can actually shoot us from anywhere on the floor. Also a Milsati spawn, which it actually might just be this Milsati. Who, I don't even know if we can take her, which is the bigger problem. Oh God, that's a dead man there. I'm gonna just stand next to you now for when you die. Because Lynn doesn't have the aggro. Actually, I mean, I have the aggro, so I don't know. I mean, you're half dead. He's using his aura, I think. Or no, that wasn't his aura. That was just... That was... Starlight Kick. The Melia one. The one that I used specifically because Melia has it. That's honestly exactly why I used that instead of Starlight Duster. I think Duster might actually synergize better with the build I have, but Melia doesn't have Starlight Duster, so... As long as the Zig isn't still attacking us. Yeah, okay, Celica classed up again. She's classed up at least twice. Which, I mean, good for her, I guess. Let's take things slow this time. Now that I know there's a Marnik over there, hopefully I can get a little target on you before the Zig attacks. I'm mashing the R button right now. Okay. Alright, Shadowrunner's up. I believe I have Shadowrunner already on like level 3, so that works out fine. And this is the way we need to go. You'd think they'd notice the other 3 people following a mysterious person who doesn't exist, but I guess the Ganglion aren't very smart. Now that we're on our way up here... let's see, the ore is worn off, but the other person we've aggroed is a Milsati Hunter who we've been able to take fine. Although you're a level higher than the last one, I think. So I guess this is a good chance to see if we can actually fight you without extremely being scared. Oh, well, Celica died, but she was dead last time anyway, so. We got her toppled without using a Starlight Kick or anything. I mean, okay, we just accidentally topple locked someone. I have no idea how we pulled that off. Like, we shouldn't have been able to do that. This team comp is not designed for topple locking. It's not designed for topple anything. We shouldn't be winning fights right now, is what I'm saying. And yet, here we are. Oh no. Oh no. No, is this the wrong way? This is the wrong way. Oh no. Unless there's a way down over here. Which there isn't. There's just another Milsati. Alright, we can kill you. Then I think we actually need to head upstairs for the right way. In case you were wondering, that didn't contain anything of value. But while I'm over here, I do want to sort of look around to see how you are supposed to get in here. Because I completely forget. It looks like you can either go in through there, or through one of the sides. There must just be another way that I missed. Let's see, if there's nothing in the room with the Zig, then I'll know that I need to go to the other side while I'm up top. Alright. If I Shadowrun her now and run, will you still attack? You will still attack, but no one else will. That works out decently well, I think. You can get through. Ah, there's another up over here on the other side of the Zig. Or the Drone Queen Quo could notice us instead. Or this Milsati Hunter could notice us instead. Or this could just be the right way. And I had a 50-50 shot and I did the stupid thing. Here's the Orson Keep. There we go.
Somehow I knew something like this was going to happen.
The clock's ticking. Take it down quickly.
Okay, force this thing. I don't know how you're actually supposed to pronounce this enemy name. I've always said cider, like apple cider, but it could equally well be Satyr. Or, well, Satyr wouldn't really make sense. I don't think it's named after the mythological satyr, but I don't know what they expected you to pronounce this thing as. I'm not gonna pretend to understand. I don't even know who localized it. Was this 8-4? I think this was 8-4, not the treehouse. But this thing's actually hurting us, which is not good. Which means I might have to overdrive, which is bad because, well, one of my stronger attacks is Stream Edge. And also, using Overdrive in general is just straight up burning 3 Shadowrunners, which I might need at some point. Although, we gotta stagger at least. I mean, we're turning this around somehow. It would be really nice to just hit 1 KT. Oh, there we go. Plus 50 damage Stream Edge. That did a lot. Lynn's just Hyper Rail Cannon. That doesn't look good. That wasn't very good. Oh god, this could go really badly. This is probably going to go really badly. I don't know if I'm making that clear enough. But I'm gonna have them keep their tension up Not use range attacks. Not use range attacks. Keep your tension up. Topple them with gunfire. I don't care that I use sliding slinger. You're down. You're toppled. There we go. There's some crits. Take that. I'm back to full HP, but that's not going to last very long. Case in point. While I was saying it wasn't going to last for very long. Oh, Jesus Christ. What even was that? I'm really scared right now. Oh, Len's dying. That's really bad. I need TP and I need it now. Alright, nice. We just had 2 appendages down at once. Lynn got some AP, HP, TP, some P back. She got her P back. Now you're using your super death laser, which is... Alright, you know what? You know what? Maybe I will overdrive, because I don't have a choice. How is that? I got 1500 TP back somehow. Why do I have this much TP? Why is this working? Why did that work? Why did that work? That shouldn't have worked. I'll take it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore.
What do you think it is?
Part of a machine?
Silly friends, it obviously keyed to big door from before.
I actually think he's right.
Okay. Wow. This way we can ride our skells in.
Exactly.
Celica leveled up. Nice. And, believe it or not, I think we can actually say that this is the 3rd episode in a row. Oh, I'm playing as Elma, so I can't get in Elysium, duh. This is the 3rd episode in a row where we can actually say Tatsu had a net positive on things. I hit return to scale instead of active members. My god. Because yes, we did have a Tatsu food moment. That did happen. But we also had him be useful twice, so those evened each other out, I think. That's probably not how that works, but... There's the cage I was in before. There's a Melsati I killed before. There's also a cage on the other side. Once you're high enough level where everything stops, where not everything will attack you, this place is actually really good for treasure and stuff. As you can see, there's stuff technically on this level, but not. Something over there. If we went left there, we could have done stuff. But we're on top of Lao right now. We're in the ganglion weapons hangar, which we've actually discovered from the air before. We should probably just go down and like actually confront him about this stuff, even though I'm the only Skell here. What are we gonna do? Oh. I thought it was gonna put us right in the cutscene. We do have to walk.
I expected no less from NLA's #1 team.
Lao!
Ganglion really are afraid, you know. Even Luxin, their leader, trembles at the idea we might get our bodies back. That's why he had me stick around here, to keep you out of his tendrils.
You knew we had no choice. We had to chase after that stolen data terminal.
None of this will matter soon. Once they destroy the Lifehold core and all of us with it, this'll all be over.
You don't sound so excited anymore.
Of course I'm excited. Why wouldn't I be? finally stop living this goddamn lie. We'll all be free at last.
We'll all be dead, Lao. How does that free anyone? Instead of reuniting with our real flesh and blood?
Wrong. We're already dead, man. Our flesh and blood burned away with the earth.
Listen, Lao. We don't have time for a debate here. We came here for that terminal, and we're taking it back with us, whether you like it or not.
Of course. You wouldn't want to hear this, would you? Or have them hear it? Fair enough. Let's go.
And it's time to fight the Prog Ares. Thankfully, when Elma designed this Wonder Scale, I don't think she was prepared for the powers of Elysium. And by that I mean the G2 Buster. Now, we're doing a lot of damage to him right now, which is good. But he is resistant to stagger. So we won't be binding him as much as I'd like. And he is doing decent amounts of damage. But the G-Buster's still hurting him a lot. And unfortunately, the Thermal Bomber, which usually inflicts stagger, doesn't against him. But I mean, we're doing this much damage already. Do we really need any of that? Also, you'll notice he is doing a bunch of different arts. This is a special scale with special weapons that all have special arts just like our own. If it wasn't for the fact that 3 of us were in scales instead of just 1, this would actually be a pretty cool mirror match. Although, again, this is Elma's super scale, that she's an engineer apparently now. And if she's able to design a scale that's reasonably taking on 3 of our own, I'm not sure why she needed Lynn's help to design the flight module, because the Prog Ares can fly now too. I don't know, he was floating.
This is wrong. Humanity should have died out along with the Earth. We should have let nature take its course and accepted our fate.
You don't believe that, Lao. If you did, you would have never volunteered to work on Project Exodus in the first place. Or on the White Whale's crew.
Well, I was a believer once. I honestly thought we could pull it off. I knew we couldn't save everyone, of course. Billions of people in that time frame. But a cross-section of races, religions? Yes, it felt like all the usual politics disappeared. People from different countries had to come together. There was no other choice. This was survival. So I signed up.
So what happened?
It was all lies. If you weren't rich, or connected, or part of the first world elite, you got left to die on Earth.
What?
Oh, yes. The only reason people like you and me got on board the White Whale is because they could use our skills, exploit our talents. But everyone else, all those countless souls boxed up in your precious Lifehold core, the same elitist bastards that decided they're the only part of humanity worth saving.
No.
If you don't believe me, ask Elma.
I can't say I agreed with how all the passengers were chosen. But I hardly see how it justifies this madness. We were acting to save the human race. I never understood why humans separate themselves off. By race, by class, religion, country, age. As if it matters in the end. On a genetic level, the differences are insignificant.
No, not insignificant. Not to humans. But really, how could you understand, Elma? Sorry, but I won't let those bastards purge what made us human. I'll kill us all first.
Lao, look. I admit I had no idea about any of this. But killing what's left of us isn't going to solve anything. It's you playing God instead of them. How is that fair?
Don't talk to me about fair. Is it fair what happened to my wife and little girl?
Oh,
That's why I volunteered. I didn't sign up for Project Exodus because I wanted to save the human race. No. I signed up for Project Exodus because I wanted to save my family. We knew there were no guarantees we'd be chosen, of course. We promised each other we'd accept our fate either way. But at least, this way, we had a chance. We had something to hope for. Hope was all we asked for. But there was never any hope. Not really. The decision was already made. We just didn't know it yet. These scum deserve to die, Elma.
No one deserves to die, Lao.
Tell that to Charmaine. And Chenchi. Tell it to everyone we left back on Earth. And you knew they'd seal the fate of all those people. And then you lied. You lied about why no one could know who made it onto this ship until after launch.
The decision came down to saving a subset of humanity or total extinction. I stand by that decision. And I'd do it again. Enough talk. I don't expect you to agree with every decision that was made in the past. But I won't let you destroy humanity's future.
Fair enough. I don't expect you to agree either. But that won't stop me!
And the fight begins again. I think he actually has raised stats this time, because someone's HP might have gone into the red already once. But, I mean, we got 2 G-Busters already, so I'll G-Buster, Soul Voice, G-Buster again. This is the true combo. Although, he did something to make himself invincible. I'm not even sure what happened there. But, Skells are taking damage, which isn't good. Which, oh, yeah, he could just make himself invincible now. Okay. That's bad, because I wanted to actually talk about that cutscene. Yeah. What is he invincible to? Oh, he did the thing where he's invincible to ranged attacks. Okay. Forgot that. He can alternate between becoming invincible to ranged and invincible to melee. So you have to direct the party to use only... Wait. What? Wait. Hold on. Did he switch without me realizing? What am I missing here? Okay, I'm going to use ranged. He's invincible to ranged. Then I hit him with melee, and I can't tell if I did damage or not. So we'll see what the G-Buster does. All right, G-Buster did damage, so I think it's melee that's hurting him right now. Which I only have 1 melee. All right, I could use a cockpit. I could waste a Phoenix to use a cockpit. I don't know. I guess because this fight's actually being difficult, I'm going to save what I was going to... Okay, he's going to use Hyper Rage, which is an art name. Blade Flurry. Okay, that at least makes sense for something you'd use. Hyper Rage just sounds even edgier than it should coming out of Lao. You know what? Celica's calling out an overdrive, Soul Voice. I might as well just overdrive and end this. Because another 3 or 4 G-Busters is probably going to be enough to actually finish him off. And, again, my thoughts about this entire thing are going to have to be saved till after the episode proper is over. Just because... Oh, wow. He used a Gossera Cannon. That's his most powerful art. It did like a third of the HP of the... Oh, God. Now I'm taking damage. That's not good. Blade Flurrying. Avatar Missile is going to hurt a lot. He resisted the stagger. Oh, God. Am I going to need to? Oh, that was just bad timing. Alright, you know what? You know what? If it's best to handle this on foot, then so be it. I will handle this on foot, and it's gonna kill me. Actually, I tanked that surprisingly well. Let's see. I'm doing literally hundreds of times less damage than I was. Okay, you're gonna hyper rage, so let's see. Masamune is almost gone. Alright. Thing is, on one hand, we theoretically win really easily because one Skell attack destroys him. On the other hand, I don't want my Skell destroyed. And we only have one left besides that one, and that one that we have left isn't exactly a tanky one. You know, maybe he could be Starlight kicked. He resists topple, okay. This could be going a lot better than it ended up going. Let's see, do I have any melee arts I can finish the Soul Voice with? I have G-Buster. I could G-Buster. Okay, G-Buster Phoenix, Sacred Cup, just win the fight. Just do what you always do. Okay. Okay.
No more fighting, Lao, and no more excuses. The data.
Go ahead, Elma. Go ahead and shoot, if you're so sure of yourself. Just don't hit the terminal. So, what's it gonna be? The chest or the head? You've got a 50-50 chance. The fate of all humanity hanging in the balance. Gotta love those odds. So, what are you waiting for?
No, Elma, not like this!
Step aside, Lin. If I can shut down his MIM, there's still a good chance we can extract the data afterwards.
No, damn it, that's not even the point! We're all on the same side here!
You.
You too?
Thank you. Elma, listen. I understand Lao's anger. I lost my family to an accident a long time ago. But if someone promised me a chance of saving them, and that was all a self-serving lie, who knows what I would do?
Lily.
It's disturbing, and corrupt, and disgusting, and yet, that's exactly what makes us human. Maybe we really should have been wiped out of existence. But then...
Lin. The data terminal. Take it.
What? But Lao...
I'm abandoning my little crusade. Guess I'm just as corrupt as anyone else.
Lao,
I changed my mind.
changed your mind.
I thought this was about them, but somewhere along the way, it became about me. And about revenge.
It's over now.
So go. The Lifehold core has built-in auto defenses. It'll take them some time to destroy it. If you hurry, you might still make it in time.
He's right. There's no time to lose. Lin, Can you finish the analysis here?
It's technically possible, but without the full NLA mainframe working on it, it would take way too much time.
Then we have no choice. Let's get back to the city ASAP.
Lao too. Come back with us to New LA.
Yeah, right. As if I could ever set foot inside that city again.
It won't be like that. Not once everyone knows the facts, at least. They might not agree, but they will understand.
You're naive, Lynn. They lock me up and toss away the key. Or worse, a lot worse.
Maybe, but that's on you. You have a lot to answer to. So either way, we're taking you back with us.
I'd rather be shot.
Come on, Lao. Let's go home.
Fine, whatever. But there's no time to evac me. You go ahead.
But that's... Elma.
He's right, Lynn. Time is running out. We need to move, and fast.
All right, then. Lao, we'll send some medics for you, okay? Just stay put. Until then, you're not allowed to die, you hear me? I'll see you back in New LA.
Sure. Great, you got it. Now would you go already?
Okay.
Tatsu will split special lunchbox with Lao. Because Lindley says Lao not allowed to die. So Lao stay alive for Lindley or else Tatsu kill him.
Not allowed to die. Of course I'm not. Even if I killed myself, I'd just wake up in a new Mim anyway. Charmaine, Chenchi, I'm so sorry, girls. Seems like Papa can't come to be with you just yet. Damn it. I'm sorry. You watch over each other until I get there.
May the blessings of Clue guide me with these new powers.
And yeah, in a startling display of continuity, Lao's body and the Prog Ares aren't actually there. You'd think he'd like actually be there as an NPC or something. Like when we were fighting the Tainted Sphinx, Tatsu was there as an NPC in the battle arena. You just couldn't actually speak with him. And oh yeah, the gangland weapons hangar is open now, so we can just come out. You'd think they'd do that with Lao, but on the flight back, instead of just fast traveling back to the barracks or the tower or wherever we need to go, I'm going to actually talk about what Lao said about the whole corrupt thing about getting on the White Whale and all that stuff. This was actually very slightly foreshadowed throughout the entire game, if you looked closely enough. The entire thing about, like, corrupt people and all that stuff, that makes a lot of sense, because all the non-Blades, where do they live? They live in this nice, relatively upper-scale suburban neighborhood in the residential district, while the Blades just have the Blade Barracks. They don't even have their own houses. They just have a building where all the Blades live, while all the non-combatant, or just generally non-Blade people, get the entire residential district for that. Now, obviously, I'm not taking sides in the whole discussion thing, because obviously the point is that this is something that would very realistically happen. if humanity faced a tragedy like this, it would just be everyone who paid or bribed or extorted their way onto the ships would be the ones to survive, besides the people necessary for it. And again, since this is from an American ship, everyone on the White Whale was from presumably the original Los Angeles when they formed NLA. You could sort of see that in the fact that pretty much the only people of color in the city are blades. Not only that, but the amount of them is a lot less than the amount of white people. And the ones that are there usually have some really important job. I'm pretty sure Nagi's canonically not, like, obviously he's supposed to be Asian. I don't know if he's Asian American or just was working on the project, but Defense Secretary, really good at cutting aliens with a katana. He's kind of important. Lin and Lao, I think Lao's supposed to be Asian. I'm not entirely sure. The problem with the character designs is you can't really tell unless the name makes it very obvious. You can't really tell if someone with light skin is supposed to be white or something else, which is kind of unfortunate and kind of goes against what they're trying to do with this. But Lin, obviously Asian, daughter of two genius scientists who ended up being capable of, well, basically she got on the ship as, like, last thanks to her parents in the first place, but she turned out to surpass even them in terms of engineering in the first place. She was kind of important. Elma has noticeably darker skin than everyone else. She's some sort of military genius who is a well-respected commander on Earth and was very important to Blade in the current time. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. The only other party member who's really very obviously not white, besides L, who kind of doesn't count, and Celica is an alien who's still white. The only other party member is Alexa, who, despite her own self-confidence, seems to actually be very useful. So you can kind of tell, like, the only people, for the most part, there are obviously exceptions in terms of NPCs, and even the non-blades who aren't white tend to have more, like, actually, I'm pretty sure one of the pizzerias, they have more working class jobs that aren't just lounging around in their houses over in the residential district. So there's actually a justification for everyone being white this time, and that's kind of the entire purpose of one of the main villain's motives, which is kind of cool. That was actually 100% intentional, I would like to think, because now I'm from the East Coast. I've been to California a grand total of once in my life. I wasn't actually in LA when that happened, so when I was there, and I didn't research any of this, so I can't tell you if this is actually very accurate to the demographics of the real Los Angeles, and that was why it was accurate. But this is what people have figured out when they were analyzing, like, all the characters and stuff. And I think it's kind of interesting the way they actually explored that. I mean, obviously they kind of had to show that off through a villain, which it makes sense that they went with the disgraced party member who got disillusioned and decided to betray people kind of thing, and that he's basically just an extremist who has very right ideas about how wrong the selection process actually was. He's just trying to kill people, to kill all of humanity for it. They had to do it. They had to show that off through a villain for it to make any sense. They couldn't just have someone drop it by being frustrated with it. So unfortunately, they kind of had to vilify the person making that revelation. But it's good that they did actually explore that, and that that's one of the main driving things of the plot, besides the whole humanity struggling to survive thing. Which doubly works, because one of the big themes of the game is humanity working together to try to survive on an alien world, and most of the people left of humanity are kind of the bad people. So there's that whole dilemma. And then the fact that said people who probably paid their way in so more quote-unquote worthy people couldn't get spots, then have to put their lives in the hands of not only other humans, or not only humans that aren't similar to them, or that are different from them, but entire other species from planets that are different to them. So there's that whole kind of irony thing, which kind of explains why people like Alex, who's going around killing everyone who isn't human, did manage to actually get on the White Whale. This is justification of the fact that not every Blade and not every citizen of NLA isn't a good person, even though they're supposed to be humanity's elite and the greatest people ever and stuff. And also, Elma is kind of bland as a character in general. Like, I can't deny that. I know a lot of people say that and stuff, but that cutscene gave me a lot of respect for her. Not in the fact that she was about to kill Lao, which I kind of disagree with her actually shooting him there, but she's one of the few people in fiction whose view on things is everyone should get, all humans should get along despite their differences and all that stuff. Like, there are a lot of characters in fiction that will have that viewpoint because it's, in my opinion, the right viewpoint to have, kind of, you know. Being nice to people is a good thing. She's one of the few characters who makes a speech about that, who actually uses the objective scientific justification for that, in that, literally, if you look at the DNA, people are all really, really similar. They're almost identical. And as someone who's studying science, that just gives me a lot of respect for her. Also, I've been talking for like 12 minutes about this. Let's just talk to Ven.
Tell me you got it.
Yes, sir.
Thank God. Let's get it analyzed.
Commander, hold on. Lau's still back at the Ganglion base in Caldros. He's seriously injured.
Yeah? And? What exactly are you getting at? I know you aren't suggesting we help that backstabbing bastard. He tried to kill you guys.
I am, but...
He's been through a lot, Commander. You know his story as well as anyone. When we signed off on Project Exodus, we knew there'd be cases like Lao. Potentially hundreds of them. Look at Irina. She's still struggling with losing her brother. But we moved forward anyway, for the greater good of mankind.
Irina didn't try to kill us. In fact, she's been doing everything she can to help further Blade's cause.
Are you sure?
Hmm?
According to Gwyn, she's been acting strange. Reckless. Almost suicidal. He thinks maybe she wants to die.
It takes different forms, but it's coming from the same place as Lao. Of course, it's no excuse for what he's done, just putting it in perspective.
Fine. We'll bring him in.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Commander.
I wouldn't get too excited about it. Especially after I break every bone in his body.
It's going to take a bit to complete the analysis. Let's regroup at the barracks.
And thus, Chapter 11 is finished. I'm not going to overwrite my previous save data because I... Wow, I hit level 45. And Celic is almost at 35, okay. Segment in the Industrial District has been updated, okay. So yeah. And then the game decides to go through, after dropping the whole bombshell that, wow, fictional US is just as bad in terms of the rich dictating everything like real US is, then we're going to actually somewhat successfully explore the mental health implications being a soldier has. Wow, we're actually covering that. I guess that's the thing with future sci-fi instead of fantasy. You can actually touch on this stuff easily. But we've met Gabiwe, who wants us to meet with her master by going to the Industrial District at night for some lucrative offer. I think this is the thing I wanted to do. Let's actually check the new industrial district segment to see if that was the thing I wanted to do. Yes, okay. That was the cutscene that I was trying to get last episode. It turns out you just needed to do chapter 11 to do it. None of my sources online were actually, everywhere I looked didn't say there was a chapter requirement. It was just get the Rothians for her to show up, but apparently that was wrong. However, this has been even longer than a usual episode. Next time, let's see, what is next time? Chapter 12, all you really need is Chapter 11 and the Scout Flight module. So we could theoretically finish the game right now. Of course, the reason I'm saying theoretically is that if we took on the final boss right now, we'd get destroyed. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do a lot of the whole leveling up thing first. Do some more side quests, do some more affinity missions. Want to actually check out Celica's next affinity mission, see if that's something we can do. Let's see, we got fitting in level 46, 3 big hearts of affinity, so that's actually something to shoot for. I doubt we have a lot with Celica right now, because we've only had her for an episode and we didn't do any side quests this episode. But that would be a good thing to shoot for as being the last thing to do before finishing the story. Yeah, we've got almost nothing. Also, Celica's 18 somehow. We're not going to question that. She's barely taller than a 13-year-old, but we're not going to question these things. Next time, the first thing we'll do is take up that Rothian on whatever her request was and finish off the White Gold storyline. Then we'll do other things. We're going to do a lot of things. Till then, this is Luxin, signing off.